Hey Aggies, need to get to Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth Metro, Austin, San Antonio, or other cities? Ditch the bus and try Hitch to book a guaranteed car ride. Hitch, comfy, safe, and affordable daily rides between Texas cities. As an official transportation provider, Hitch even has pickup locations right on campus. Download the Hitch app or visit ridehitch.com. Enter the code AggieLand for 30% off your first 4 rides. That's ridehitch.com. Welcome back to the Home Tour Podcast. It's me, Hunter Mitchell, joined here by my co-host, Cade Harris.
How's it going?
Fine, I guess.
Fine till you had to record this today, right?
Oh, man, beat the hell out of Ohio State. I guess there's football Saturday, too. We beat when we got beat by Ole Miss. I turned off my TV. I'm usually not like a beat something kind of guy, like beat a table kind of guy.
Yeah.
I turned off my TV calmly, removed my A&amp belt calmly, and then proceed to just beat my couch for like a good 15 seconds. Man, that was so frustrating.
Yeah.
I felt it.
What's new?
I felt it too. When they had Randy Bond going out there, I'm like,
I had no faith in the kid.
No offense to Randy Bond, he is not Seth Mall. He does not have that dog in him.
No, I knew he wasn't making it. Like, it's typical. I figured when we scored and took the lead that they were going to march down and take the lead because it's typical.
The defense had just been picking them apart all game. I was like, there's no way they get like a crucial stop here. I don't think.
No,
Now with Quinshon Judkins, Trey Harris, Jackson Dart, who have been lighting them up all game. It was just not to be expected of them. But yeah, I mean, kind of fall from grace a little bit. The expectation for the season. We talked about it earlier. We were like, "Bleh," and the expectations are warranted, but should not be expected with how this team has been. And now they sit 5-4.
Yeah. 4 losses would not have surprised me coming into the season. 4 losses this soon. It's definitely got me. I wouldn't say I'm surprised after week 2.
Yeah.
But before the season, definitely would be surprised if you told me this was the record after Ole Miss.
Yeah, and I mean now it's kind of shaping out to look like probably going to be 7-5, 7-6, 8-5 kind of range. Go on the road to LSU at the end of the season. You get Mississippi State and Abilene Christian next up. It's just it is now year 6, and I'm going to find every way to elude it back to basketball because that's what I do. You look at Buzz Williams' progression every year, slowly getting a little better. Now this year, start the season number 15 in the country. High expectations. Don't know what they're going to account up to yet. 1 game's been played. You look at Jimbo Fisher. There's been no signs of growth.
No.
You've had the one, but
Yeah.
even then, you know exactly what people say. If you had a bad season in 2020, it doesn't count because it's COVID. So, like, if we're following that mentality, that season should not count. I mean, Ohio State made the playoffs and played like 4 games that season.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, come on now.
They were 5-1.
Yeah, exactly. So,
right?
like,
no, they were 5-0. 5-0.
But like, they played 5 games.
Still, yeah.
So it's like that season is kind of a weird enigma anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really hard, and I will defend the head coach. But eventually you got to look at the cards that you've been dealing out and understand that the pot is just not sweet enough for what you're dishing.
No. Heck no. Not even close.
Yeah, and it just next year you wonder almost. Next year is a premium slot for A&M next season. You've got LSU at home. You've got Notre Dame at home. You got Texas at home. You got favorable road matchups.
Your 3 toughest matchups you just listed.
Yes.
Notre Dame, LSU, and Texas.
You got 3 really favorable matchups you've got favorable matchups on the road. You've got, go to Williams-Brice, whatever. Mississippi State, whatever.
Go to the swamp, I think.
Yeah, that's your toughest one, but they're all super winnable. So you wonder now, is the position get a new coach to prepare for that season kind of thing? Get him ready. He'll have a favorable schedule going in. Or do you bet on Jimbo and risk the possibility of potentially wasting that golden opportunity season?
I don't know, and I'm glad I'm not the decision maker because
Yeah,
that's
a really tough Ross.
I would
that's
have
a really tough ask.
No idea.
And of course, the elephant in the room that everyone always talks about is, man, $73 million buyout is crazy.
Ugh, disgusting. I'm so glad that's not my money.
I wish people would pay me $73 million to quit my job.
No kidding.
Like,
because I was so bad at it. I
Yeah.
get $73 million to quit.
Mitch, man, that's just that's nuts.
Not where we expected to be year 6.
Yeah, it's kind of just grinding the wheels, spinning the wheels.
Ole Miss has a singular 5-star on their roster.
Really, I actually didn't know that. With how we won't talk about Lane Kiffin, but who is it? Do you know?
I don't. I'd seen it, but
Yeah, and your entire defensive line is made of 5 stars.
like I don't know if A&M. I don't know if they've played a more talented team. Probably Alabama is. I consider them more talented.
Yeah,
But I don't think other than that they've played a more talented team.
yeah,
Coached team, they've played a lot better coach teams.
yeah. No, for sure, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration stems from. Now, I mean, you hate to just be whiny about it, but it's year 6. You look at the records of the past coaches. Jimbo's doing worse than I think Sumlin is at this point.
I think he has 3 or 4 more losses than Sumlin at this point in his career.
Which is wild. I mean, again, you take it with a grain of salt. You'd have Johnny Manziel, and Cliff Kingsbury,
Right.
and Mike Evans.
Right.
So,
And Jimbo picked it up with someone's leftovers,
Yeah.
Like it's not like he was dealt the best hand.
yeah. But still with where you're at now,
Right.
I mean, you only get 3 years, maybe 4 with these 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just kind of squandering it at this point. So before we talk about Mississippi State, let's play just a little fun game. Let's name your top coaching candidate if
Top
Jimbo
3
Fisher.
or top just 1.
Let's just say you can go top 3 if you got 3.
Okay. In no particular order.
Okay.
Eli Drinkwitz,
Mhm.
Glenn Schumann,
Ooh.
Lane Kiffin.
Oh, you really think Lane Kiffin would come here?
I think so. I think he wants the job. I mean, this is me saying no insider info, anything. But why does it just always seem like he targets A&M on Twitter? And there's 2 jobs that I think Lane Kiffin really, really wants: Texas A&M's and Alabama's. I think that's kind of the reason he focuses on those teams with his tweets and in his press conferences. He loves hyping up Alabama and Nick Saban.
Oh God,
loves
yeah.
it. And I honestly think that's because he wants to get on the good side of their fan base, their boosters, everything like that, because he wants that job one day. And then I think he goes after A&M a lot because he sees our resources. He sees just how good this program can be, how Jimbo's getting all these 5 stars in. He's just doing nothing with them. And I think Lane Kiffin thinks he can come in here and use all these resources to his advantage and also coach them, unlike what Jimbo has done. I don't know. That's just my whole... This is what I was thinking this weekend, just kind of about it. Because I was looking at Lane Kiffin and I was like, I really despise you. And I was thinking, why do I despise you? And it's because he's gone after Jimbo. And I'm like, well, I'm not the biggest Jimbo fan anymore. So it's maybe not so bad. What if I don't know. I'd like for him to be our coach.
I like the Glenn Schumann,
Mm-hmm.
a name that gets thrown around a lot, and I think what I'm going to say. Mike Elko. Do you not like it? Would you not like a Mike Elko reunion?
No, I don't. Man, 0 points against Louisville. Like, you really want to bring in
Starting
another
quarterback is,
bad offense?
but
I
that
mean,
being said,
it.
get a good offensive coordinator
Yeah, that's true.
and actually let them. I would just like a coach that you know without a shadow of a doubt they're not calling plays. Even this
True.
season, you're still like
A little
this
hesitant.
feels like a Jimbo play.
It does.
But like I just want a coach where I know the offensive coordinator is running the offense.
Okay.
I do like the Glenn Schumann. I mean, Georgia's defense has been absolutely bonkers. If we want to go Power Five, I think Willie Fritz from Tulane wouldn't be a bad option. That's a huge jump to go to Tulane to Texas A&M.
James Madison's coach.
James Madison, yeah,
It's just a name to throw out there. You never. I mean, I feel like though, like
yeah.
A&M should not go to the Group of Five
Kirk
ranks.
Ignetti. I don't think A&M will either. I don't think. I think they're above that caliber. I think
Yeah.
they're more of a steal a Power Five coach
Yeah.
than promote a Group of Five coach. I think they're past that. But I mean, man, there's some there. You want to know Kignetti's record overall?
How many years has he coached?
Let's see. How many years has he coached? Um,
Yeah, but he definitely interests me in the Group of Five ranks. And like you mentioned, Willie Fritz. I'm not interested in Air Force's coach running the
no, yeah,
triple
that would be an
option.
interesting. That would be a very interesting.
Bringing the triple option to the SEC.
So he has been at JMU since 2019, but his overall head coaching record at 3 schools,
Okay.
117 to 34.
Where was he at prior to James Madison?
IUP, which
Okay.
is D2, Indiana University, Pennsylvania. And then Elon,
Okay.
and then James Madison.
Wow. It's pretty impressive.
Very
I think it's
impressive.
pretty impressive what he's doing with James Madison. Like,
And his coaching resume, he was on NC State staff with Phillip Rivers.
okay.
Worked with quarterbacks at NC State for 6 years with Phillip Rivers, ACC Player of the Year. 7 seasons, the Wolfpack was in 5 bowl games. He recruited Russell Wilson. You want to know something? You want to know some real? This may entice your ears a little more. Do you know who he is a disciple of?
Nick Saban?
He is a Nick Saban disciple. He was an original member of his coaching staff in 2007. He is one of the first 12 disciples of Nick Saban. He was a wide receiving coach. Coach Julio Jones, Mark Ingram, Dante Hightower.
So about the Group of Five ranks.
So he's looking a little more
very
enticing,
intriguing.
isn't he?
Man.
He has the resume, and this may scare you more than anything. Do you know where you
Scare me in a good way?
Well, I don't know. With our affiliation with West Virginia based head coaches, he played for West Virginia at quarterback.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Back to Lane Kiffin. I'm just kidding.
But at James Madison, he's 50-8.
Wow. I mean, yeah, like I
If
said,
there is-
what
if-
he's done these past 2 years, coming from the FCS ranks and then just running through, everyone they're playing in FBS is crazy.
If there was any FCS if there was any Group of 5 coach I would want to snag, it would be Kirk Ignetti.
Especially after you telling me that.
Yeah, he has coached a lot of really good players, and he has obviously coached them, so he knows something at least. So yeah, that would be my pick. Again, it's probably gonna be a Power 5, but I think it would upset a lot of. I think it would actually a lot of Aggies would be a lot more content with his pick than what may be initially perceived. I think when these kind of information gets leaked out through all the insider sources, about what his resume really is, I think a lot of people are going to would be a lot happier with that pickup.
I agree. I mean, once you told me, I was like, wow.
Yeah, he's not some just schmuck who started at an FCS school and stayed there. He was at a serious school. And the fact that he went from Saban's staff to a D2 school and then worked his way up from there, he wins.
I feel like that's something I feel like. I mean, I have no clue, but I would almost feel like he gets snatched up this offseason. Right?
Oh, I think a Power 5 school definitely takes him.
Yeah.
I really do too. Yeah. But a lot of options out there. But Jimbo's still here. We're talking like he's gone. He's still on the sidelines.
There's still $75 million to be discussed.
There's still 75 million, which is why maybe you possibly go group of 5. You could maybe strike a lower bargain with with a group of 5 coach, saying, "Hey, you can come coaching the SEC for significantly less money.
Yeah.
Save up money for NIL, pay more players to come here, whatever." However you may see that being, but yeah. Anyway, Jimbo's still here though, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Christmas is still Christmas is still a couple months away.
Wow.
Let's not give our presents out early, possibly.
Wow.
So Mississippi State, this is a game A&M has to win. I mean, they're not the team, the Mike Leach team. They're theoretically a pro-style offense. Offense is putting it strongly. They definitely bring 11 guys out there on offense.
There's definitely 11 of them suited up.
I think this should be and needs to be bigger, like a bigger win than South Carolina. I think this needs to be like 42, like 17.
Yeah.
I think this needs to be a slobber knocker.
Mm-hmm. I think if they score 17 points, I'd be disappointed in our defense.
Yeah, even
honest.
then, I think 13-42. I'm just thinking like garbage time kind of points. This has to be one that A&M wants big. Evan Stewart's practicing this week, so he should hopefully be back. You'd think they would maybe even sit him for this week to just make sure that he is not he's all good for LSU. I think it's the important thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I secondary. This is no one of their games where they really have to perform, and they can't look. They just can't look silly. They can't look like they did against Ole Miss. But the thing is, they have these bad performances. We say this, have a good performance. We're like, okay, they're back, and then they go out and underperform as well. This should be one that is over by halftime, third quarter.
You'd hope.
If this is a tight game by fourth quarter, man. Ooh.
Yeah. Speaking on that secondary, hopefully Tyreek Chappelle is back for them because they'll need him back.
Yeah, that cornerback group was looking tough.
Mm-hmm.
Was having a real tough time out there. And now the O line looked a little better. I think so you really hope that that's kind of not like the secondary, and you hope that that's kind of a mainstay. Maybe they finally clicked.
Doubt it.
Doubt it. They're not going to be really.
If we're talking coaches, talk offensive line coaches, like who? I mean, I have no clue about what offensive line coaches are.
Iowa's offensive line coach.
That's just kind of where everyone goes, right? No. But yeah, that is definitely the coach that is on the hottest seat.
Steve Adazio is. I think if Jimbo doesn't
great
get fired
recruiter.
I think if Jimbo doesn't get fired this offseason, I think the scapegoat to vent a little heat from the seat is Steve Adazio.
Oh yeah.
I think that kind of like how hiring Bobby Petrino let out a little heat the offseason. I think he does the same thing with Steve Adazio this season.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, it's been too much.
Bad.
Yeah. But Mississippi State again, Mike Wright probably getting the start. I don't know what Will Rogers.
Yeah, Arnett said today he is day to day.
Okay,
he's still day to day.
Possibly see Will Rogers, but will not be 100%.
Right.
So either way, either quarterback, it's one. You just got to go out there. Your second night game of the year, only the second night game of the year.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Well, at least hopefully the fireworks will work this time. Fireworks at night.
and then you close Abilene Christian LSU. But yeah, I think Mississippi State. The important thing is getting your offense in a rhythm, building that rhythm, going out scoring touchdowns first off, and just finding your way to pick apart defenses and just getting comfortable. Using the two games from Mississippi State and Abilene Christian to get comfortable heading to LSU.
Yeah, get comfortable and definitely, cheer some people up. Like, uh, obviously, a loss to Abilene Christian would, I mean,
That would Jimbo be fired.
that day.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah, Jimbo would be fired. Like that, like the donors would have such an emotional reaction to that he would be gone. But that's to that's to be seen. Same thing with where he gets hired to, or like if he were to get fired, who would you bring in? But yeah, this is for now. Just you got to win these next two big, and then see what happens with LSU. I mean, no one thought anyone was going to be LSU last year. But playing in Death Valley is a whole different can of worms.
Whole different can of worms and different quarterback for the Aggies.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Max Johnson returning to Death Valley. Sorry.
Would be good for him to,
Yeah.
go back to Death Valley and get a win like that. That'd be a really cool story for him.
Yeah. Revenge for us over him.
Yeah. I'll still never forgive him for that pass to Jure something. And
that hurt really bad. That hurt real tough. Over Jalen Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
Whatever.
But for us this week, that's all we've got. I'm Hunter Mitchell.
I'm Cade Harris.
We will catch y'all next time.